Of national news, Scott Faughn, friend of the show, is publisher and CEO, founder of the Missouri Times that covers Jefferson City in a great way. He joins us now. Good morning, Scott Faughn.
McGraw, I don't know if it's good morning yet. I haven't been to bed.
All right, so how many? What's the latest? How long has this been going on?
So the filibuster ended at, I believe, 37 hours. It's the longest continuous filibuster in state history. Over a bill, you might have remembered there was an allegation that someone tried to force a baker to bake a cake for a gay wedding in another state. And Missouri is wanting to pass a law that says you can't have any penalties for refusing to do business with someone or provide a service because they're gay. Well, obviously the Democrats and others had an issue with the bill. Senator Bob Onder carried the bill. However, the filibuster went on till right about 5:20 this morning. And about 20 after 5, before we recessed, they came back. He said they were going to come back at 5:40. They came back in about 7:20, and they came into session. There was controversy because Senator Maria Chappelle-Nadal of St. Louis had the floor, and they recognized a different senator. A move called the previous question was used, which is normally reserved for the House of Representatives. And then there was a senator on the floor, Scott Sifton of St. Louis, and he was not recognized, which normally not recognized in the minority is something done exclusively in the House. And at that point, they moved the previous question, and all but three senators, Senator Schaaf from St. Joseph, Senator Dixon from Springfield, and Senator Sylvie from North Kansas City, excuse me, all voted to move the previous question and shut off debate. It's one of those things that there's about 8 blocks here in Jeff City where that really is a big deal. The rest of the state could care less. But when you see in every state, in the United States Congress, the Senate's supposed to be that saucer that cools the drink. There may be nothing cooling the drink in Jefferson City now.
Okay, so did they break the Roberts Rules of Orders? It seems like they sort of went against the rules that are internationally agreed upon.
Well, there is a law of the jungle that supersedes everything else. And essentially in this, they went around the rules of the Senate. I would say most people would believe from watching it that the normal rules of the Senate, they didn't go back to the senator that had the floor. They didn't recognize the senator that was standing. And actually Senator Schaaf, a Republican, criticized the chair for not recognizing the senator. It looked as bad as it can look. But at the end of the day, the majority forced their will on the minority, which in the Senate is supposed to be the opposite.
Right.
But
so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. The filibuster, Democrats didn't give up on the filibuster. The other side just got tired of it and just decided to sort of end it arbitrarily.
Oh no, that's exactly what happened. It's not sort of like that. It's exactly like that. The law of the jungle prevailed, and the majority said, "We're going to stop debate. And we're going to force you to stop and bring the bill to a vote." The bill clearly in the Missouri Senate had the votes to pass. That was obvious. Every Republican voted for it in a huge majority. Excuse me. However, they just don't do that very often. They do it in the House every day. It's sort of the line of demarcation from why is the Senate different than the House. In the House, they stop debate whenever the majority wants to. In the Senate, they work things out, and it's supposed to slow down legislation that may need a closer look. Well, they just decided they weren't going to play that game anymore, and the Republicans Katie bar the door.
Okay.
Now the Democrats, after this is over, start objecting to the announcements. They object to everything. And so it may be a sign that the next few months of the Missouri Senate is going to be a very controversial one.
So you're saying that the Democrats aren't going to take this lying down, and they're going to throw all sorts of havoc because of what transpired down there.
If they take this lying down, they're not senators; they're House members.
So the bill in and of itself passed. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The bill it passed. It will go on the ballot in this fall, either August or November. It'll be a constitutional amendment that the citizens will vote on. My hunch, and most of the people's hunches in the room, says that bill passes. Essentially, it makes it where you can't penalize clergy or anybody else for performing religious services for gay weddings. I would say, while Missouri is definitely, like the rest of the nation, trending a different way, it's probably not there yet. So that bill, that is placed on the ballot. The House still has to pass it, but it's
Right.
Likely the House passes it. The House is generally the body that passes these types of things, and the Senate gives them a closer look.
Yeah, Scott
Now
Faughn.
you may see Speaker of the House Todd Richardson being the Missouri General Assembly.
Yeah, Scott Faughn with us, founder, writer, everything when it comes to the Missouri Times. Unprecedented, really, in a sense, what you're telling us down in Jefferson City. Thanks for the heads up. Get back to work. Thanks for checking in, Scott.
Thank you, McGraw.
Scott Faughn with us, good friend of the show, and nice enough to come on and tell us about the extraordinary events going on down in Jefferson City. 37 hours, and the majority just decided to end it.
Yeah.
So they just decided we're done with you, which is unheard of.
I know.
In a legislative body like that.
Oh, my.
8:11 here, Big 550.